Hi, I'm Lisa Long, and I want to know, do you identify as a light worker? I certainly do. And do you know what that means? Do you know how reality is created? So in reality, there's the dark and there's the light, and you cannot have one without the other. Everything is both ends of the same creation. And otherwise, it'd just be like a gray screen of nothingness. We wouldn't be able to differentiate things. So there's a vibrational reality where there's both ends of the stick. And if you understand that Earth is a dense reality and consciousness here was suppressed for thousands of years, maybe millions. And our DNA has codes that kept us small. It also has awakening codes in it. So your DNA is like light codes. It's kind of like a computer code. And you come in as this light being and you incarnate into this dense energy, into this dense physical reality. And for the most part, you keep yourself awake for 6 months, maybe, while you're a baby. You're happy. That's why little babies look like little Buddhas. They're like little gods. And some people do it, keep themselves awake for years, and some people don't. It just depends on how much negative feelings and energies are being projected at you about reality. See, they project their version of reality on you, and you're incarnating into this dense, muddy reality. And so it takes strength to maintain your light. And for me, I maintained my light for many years. And then I was kind of hiding, and then I got muddied out, and then I came up to more light, and then I got muddied out. So I fell asleep. I was never totally asleep because I always could hear my guides, but I got pretty muddied out. And then as I started waking up, I had to start clearing off all that mud. And that's what we're doing as light workers. We're clearing the mud. But if you're a light worker and you're continually watching the news, which is literally programming, it's called programming for a reason, because it's programming your mind with whatever the top 5 conglomerate media outlets want you to believe. And it's a real interesting thing because we were programmed from childhood when we were really little, especially in America. It's go put your hand on your heart and vow Pledge of Allegiance. That just makes you dense and puts up a filter. So when America does something that's not that great to the world, you have this filter, well, I'm an American, so I believe them. I'm not an American. I'm living as an American in a female body on Earth. I love my country, but my first loyalty is to my source. So it's source first, self second, and then others. And country is a bit behind all that. But if you're programmed into believing that, and just think of the little kids, Pledge of Allegiance every day for how many years? How many years did we, especially people my age? Now they're not doing it as much anymore, but people my age, we did it probably 3 or 4 years at least. That's a lot of pledges to an allegiance of a country. And we're not in charge of the thought forms of that country. That country has its own belief systems. And when you pledge allegiance to it, you are moving into the mind field of that giant belief system that's been around for thousands of years. Well, not for the country, but for the country, it's been hundreds. And so it's been dense here. And the most valuable thing on this planet, do you have any idea what it is? Put in the link below somewhere what you think the most valuable thing on this planet is. Oh, wait a minute. It's your attention. It's your mind. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and if you can control their minds, you are controlling a huge group mind field of source energy. You're controlling God on this earth. Think about that. And when you're watching TV and you're watching the news, and the news is saying, oh, this happened, and this is what it means, and this happened, and this is what it means. And especially when they repeat those news cycles over and over again, they are literally programming the God consciousness of Earth into density and fear. Because 99.9% of the crap on news is negative. Now, I'm not judging them in the way of people who work for the news, because they're working for the news and they don't really know what's going on. But there are beings, that mind fields, that try to keep you focused on fear. And if you own a news station, which there's 5 companies that own them all, and you also own a pharmaceutical company, and someone comes on and says, oh, I'd like to get on your news program because I have a cure for cancer. Do you know what they're going to say? They're going to shoot it down, because they have a pharmaceutical company and they make money off that pharmaceutical company. And they're going to call you weird, and they're going to say, prove it. And they're going to say, go through my company that I own, that'll cost you, I don't know what they charge, a couple million to test all the stuff for years to make sure you're right. You have to understand that there's conflicting interest, because they have so many companies that they own. If you try to get media attention and say, well, this stuff it doesn't feel right to me, it feels wrong. Not only are you dealing with the belief systems we all were programmed with, and the belief systems of humans, you're also dealing with their marketing department, and they're trying to get attention. So the attention is the commodity. The attention of your God focus is the commodity. So when you're watching these news programs, which I'm sure you've seen, where they show them all parroting each other, it's because they all have a script, and that's not news. That's not news. That's scripted reality, trying to get your mind to believe it. And your mind, I mean the human consciousness mind, to believe whatever scripted reality they're putting out there. They're not showing joy, happy, fun. These people rescued these animals. These things were fun. I mean, if you just go through, I scroll through on my iPhone, the news of the day, you can count them. Negative, 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 and then maybe one positive thing. So it's all kind of how you program it, but that's the major news. If you're asleep, then you'll think, oh, that's just stuff that's happening. No, it's not. That's their filtered reality of what they're feeding you. Think about that. When I put stuff on Facebook, I'm not putting negative news. I'm in charge of my Facebook wall, right? So I'm posting positive, 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 positive to get your mind to a higher level. That's my filtered reality. It's my choice. I can focus on, oh, this is happening as bad, and that's happening and is bad, or I can focus on, this is happening and it's good, this is happening and it's good. So try to understand that whatever you're focusing on, you're giving your energy to. And if you're giving your energy to negative things, you'll feel it. Your tummy you'll start feeling a gut hit. You'll start feeling heavy in your shoulders. You'll start dropping your level. Your higher self is at a high vibrational level. Your higher self loves you. Your higher self loves everyone. It's almost like it's oblivious to all the negativity. It probably is. So you hang out in that reality and you move to that reality. But if you hang out in the reality of everything's bad, and this is bad things happening, that's bad things happening, You move to that reality because it's like driving a car. You go where you focus. So if you want to get out of the crap, filter your reality. Only follow positive people. Find people who tell you the truth and bring your energy to a higher level, and who you go, wow, that kind of feels like something I that feels kind of right to me. You got to check your gut and go, that feels right to me. But if you're so programmed into watching the news, it's almost like quitting drinking or smoking or whatever. You got to wean yourself. So wean yourself off of it. And then like all the positive things everywhere on Facebook or whatever, and just ignore the things that you don't like, so that they start leaving your reality. Because the reason shootings happen more and more is because people focus on it. So the news says, oh, look, this bad thing happened. And oh, look, that bad thing happened. And you've got millions of people just in the US focusing on, oh my God, that's a bad thing. And that creates more bad things. That's how it works here. So if you want to know how it works and everything, check out my academy. And yeah, it takes strength. It takes spiritual strength to not get caught up in the fields, because there's huge fields. If you got, 3 million people believing something, and you're trying to move out of that box, that field, and go, well, what's the truth? Then yeah, you really got to be dedicated to your alignment with your source energy and your higher self, and bringing more light to the planet, which is what we are here to do. So if you're a light worker and you're here to bring light, get picky. Choose yourself first. Hang out with other light workers, hang out with high-level people, and just ignore what's going on in reality, because there's multiple dimensions of reality. And if you don't want to live it, don't focus on it. So that's my rant for today. It takes strength, it takes dedication, it takes courage, it takes awareness, it takes clearing, it takes clarity, it takes knowing in alignment with your higher self. It takes balls. Or I guess if you're a woman, it takes balls. I don't know what you would call for a woman, but it takes courage. So get up your courage and put yourself first and your alignment first with your source energy, and you will never regret it. So God bless you, and thank you, and have a great night and day, and whenever you see this. Aloha.